Hey guys, it's Jacob here. Um, I actually am kind of thrilled that I'm making this video for a couple reasons. One, um, it's the first time that that I have a new phone, and I wanted to um, I wanted to see if there was any better quality. Just because the previous videos that I put up were blurry, and I wasn't sure exactly how to get it to not be that way. And then when I got my new phone 2 days ago and started liking different features of it, I figured why not just try doing a video on YouTube on your phone just to see if the quality is better. And so far, it's much, much better. I think I'm going to shoot my um, videos on here from now on. Um, so that's the first reason why I'm excited to do this. The second reason why I'm excited for this is because I kind of wanted to um, do a um, a review um, of a movie, um, and I think I'm probably going to do this um, leading up to maybe even after I go to see Avengers: Infinity War, um, which I'm very excited for. Um, and um, so the movie that I'm going to be talking about today is actually a biblical epic called Exodus: Gods and Kings. Now, right off the bat, I have a feeling that there's some people who um, hear just the name of that movie or have seen the movie and that it's not it's not accurate to the story. It's just basically a Moses version of Noah done by an atheist or agnostic atheist and stuff like that, and that it's you know um, it's going to be just a load of BS and all that jazz. But from my experience, I wasn't going in there. Um, I wasn't going with high hopes. I wasn't necessarily going in with low hopes when I went to see this, which, by the way, I watched on my laptop. Um, but I was going into the movie going, okay, um, is this going to be 100% accurate to the actual story? No. But just because that it's not going to be 100% accurate doesn't necessarily mean that it's, one, going to not be entertaining, and two, that there are going to be um, some true facts to it, which I found there to be, like it focused on the fact that, Moses was adopted by the Pharaoh and his family, how he had a once close relationship with his adopted brother Ramesses, and then found God, um, and then what was once his brother became his sworn enemy, um, and rescuing his people out of Egypt. So for the most part, it stayed pretty accurate with the film. There were some things though that I wouldn't necessarily find to be um, false or negative with it, but that I would try to understand um, why it happened. For example, the depiction of God in the movie, for those of you who have seen it, you know what I'm about to say. For those of you who haven't seen it, spoiler alert, God is portrayed by a kid. And I found that kind of interesting, especially when that verse comes to mind where it says that, um, unless you come to me like a child, you cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. And so it was kind of interesting to kind of see, God's point of view in the movie being depicted as a kid. It was kind of interesting. It wasn't bad, and it wasn't great, but it was just interesting. Um, Another thing that I found interesting was that I think a lot of people have given a lot of flack for the movie is um, Moses's um, tension with God whenever he would see the plagues of Egypt happening, and and the task that he's been given to free the Israelites out of Egypt. Um, a lot of people think that that's not who Moses really was. Um, the thing is that we can only go off of the story. You know, and I'm not sure if I should count the realistic or the cartoon accounts of Moses, but like some people, I think they described Moses as kind of terrorist like. Um, and in some ways, I can understand why that he was kind of portrayed that way to some people. Um, I personally thought that it was a great performance, just because um, what his relationship with God, or the kid God, in the movie, it's basically human nature. It's kind of a reflection of our day to day choice to either be for God's plan, regardless of whether we understand it or not, um, or choosing to go our own way, which is why I feel like that some people are kind of, you know, are kind of for his performance, um, and why some people are not. But I personally was for his performances because it kind of brought to center, my wanting to grow more in Christ, but there are some days where I either just don't feel like it, or I just, totally want to be rebellious and, go my own way and all that. Um, and then the scene that I did find really interesting was the scene where Ramesses, played by Joel Edgerton, he calls in Miriam, who we all know is the sister of Moses, and it's like he basically already knows what she knows. She's just choosing to be in denial of it in order to protect Moses. And Moses doesn't want Ramesses to go through this because he wants to protect not only his sister Miriam, but also his adopted brother um, Ramesses. It's like he's the middleman. He's the bridge between um, who he really is versus kind of who he wants to be, kind of thing. So he's kind of at a crossroads. Um, and then another thing that I found interesting were the plagues. Um, According to my memory, and I don't know if it's correct, but I think when I saw the movie, the only plague that I could see that was off, well, not necessarily off, but kind of had a little twist on it, was the blood plague. Now, in the story, we all know, in the Bible, that we all know that the water became blood when Moses put his staff in the water. In the movie, it's kind of more of a natural cause thing, where there are people on ships or whatever, boats, and crocodiles come up and eat the people, and then there's blood that goes to the water. Now, it's one of those things where I don't agree with that particular way in which that plague was brought to the screen. However, I did find it interesting, the take on it, the whole natural cause thing. Um, and it's interesting because, um, you know, I'm into the whole, you know, wanting to have people express different beliefs in God and show me how they came to this point in their life and all that. I mean, you look at just the fact that this was directed by one of my favorite directors of all time, Ridley Scott, who just happens to be an agnostic atheist. I think that when you get into a biblical epic, especially when it comes to Old Testament stuff, I think while Exodus does have a few minor problems, I do think it is better than Noah. Because I saw Noah and I instantly was like, okay, yep, this isn't good. Um, but I feel like what with Exodus, I feel like while there were changes, I feel like they were changes where you can kind of you know you don't necessarily agree with the changes, but you can kind of understand why they're there. You know, it's like he believes that there is no God. However, he's open minded to be proven wrong, which think that a lot of people think that the atheists are the exact opposite, that they're doom and gloom and that they believe there's no God, that there's pride in their hearts and stuff like that. And there are some atheists that are like that, but there are other atheists, you know, Ricky Gervais, the comedian, being one of them, um, where um, he's open to be proven wrong. In fact, I actually saw an interview where he said, you know, if science did one day prove the existence of God, the higher power, would you believe? And he said, in a heartbeat, I would. You know, which proves that even though he doesn't believe in God, that there is hope and that he wants someone with enough evidence to be able to persuade him. And, you know, I hope that that can happen. But yeah, that's my review on Exodus Gods and Kings. Um, I may do another video shortly after I get this one uploaded. Uh, Trying to figure out what it will be if I do. Yeah, thanks for watching, and feel free to like, subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.